Deep within the whisper wood lived a dragon named Ferdinand. No, Ferdinand was no ordinary dragon. You see, he was the only dragon in the entire forest who couldn't breathe fire. And that was a bit of a problem for him, because all of the other dragons made fun of him for it. Ferdinand, why don't you come play with us? We're gonna roast some squirrels, Sparky said to Ferdinand one day, a cruel smirk on his face. And I bet you Reed too scared to join us? Because your mama didn't have the heart to teach? You had to breathe fire? Ferdinand hung his head in shame. It was true. His mother had never taught him how to breathe fire, and the other dragons never let him forget it. They called him names like Smokeless, Phantom, Flameless, and many others.
Poor Ferdinand felt so bad about himself.
He felt like he was even worthy of being called a dragon, because he could even do the one thing that all dragons could do: breathe fire.
One day, Ferdinand decided he'd had enough.
He packed a small bag, just in case he needed something to practice breathing fire on. Then he walked out of his cave and into the Whispering Woods to find some poor squirrel to practice on. But little did he know, this would be the worst decision he'd ever make. After walking for hours, Ferdinand came across a clearing, and there, sitting in the middle of it, was a beautiful sight. A sparkling lake surrounded by lush green grass and the sweetest smelling flowers. Ferdinand had never seen anything more beautiful than this place.
He sat down on a nearby rock and thought to himself, maybe not all dragons are supposed to breathe fire.
Maybe I can be happy without it.
Suddenly, a voice broke the silence.
What are you doing here?
Startled, Ferdinand turned around and saw a beautiful dragon sitting on another rock.
Her scales were the color of emeralds, and her eyes sparkled like pools of gold. She looked at Ferdinand from head to toe and snorted. You're pathetic. Why aren't you breathing fire right now? I can't breathe fire, Ferdinand said quietly.
The dragon laughed. That's even worse.
What good is a dragon who can't breathe fire? You're nothing but a big, ugly worm. She turned away from him and looked back at the lake. Why are you still here? Get out of my forest!
Devastated,
Ferdinand turned and ran as fast as he could.
He didn't know where he was going, but he knew he didn't want to stay in that forest anymore. He ran and ran until he finally stopped. He was exhausted and he had no idea where he was.
Looking around, Ferdinand realized he had never seen this place before.
Tall mountains surrounded him, and below him was a vast valley filled with beautiful houses. As Ferdinand flew closer, he heard singing. He had never heard such beautiful singing.
Curious, Ferdinand hid behind a cloud and peeked down at the houses.
There in the middle of the valley, sitting on a stone throne, was an old woman holding a staff. Surrounding her were villagers of all ages, and they were all holding hands and singing. No, Ferdinand had never seen anything like this before. All the dragons he knew only ever used their powers for evil. So why were these people using their powers for good? Maybe, just maybe, not all dragons were supposed to breathe fire. This kind of made Ferdinand feel a lot better, but he still didn't know where he was or how to get home. As he flew over the village, he noticed a little girl looking up at him. Look, Mama, a dragon, she cried. Her mother came over and put her hand on the little girl's shoulder. Don't be afraid, sweetheart. He looks like a kind dragon. Then she turned to Ferdinand and called out, Hello, kind sir. Can you please come down here and talk to us for a moment?
Now, Ferdinand wasn't sure if he should trust these people or not. All his life, dragons had been evil, and he was a dragon.
So shouldn't he be evil, too? But something told him these people were different. so he slowly descended down toward them. When Ferdinand landed, the people gasped. "Oh, my goodness! Look at you! You're so big and fluffy! Are you lost, little dragon?" Ferdinand nodded. "I'm from the Whisperwood, but I don't know how to get back." "Well, then you're in luck, because we're having a festival tomorrow in honor of the kind dragons who protect us,"
the old woman said.
"We'll give you an award, and then you can stay as long as you like." "A festival? An award?"
Ferdinand asked.
He had never heard of such a thing before. But before he could ask any more questions, the old woman and the villagers walked over to him and started petting him. "Oh, you're so soft. And what's your name, little dragon?" Ferdinand," he replied. The villagers all laughed. "What a wonderful name!"
"We're going to call you Ferdy for short," the old woman said.
And just like that, Ferdinand became part of the family. He spent the whole next day playing with the villagers, and they treated him like a real hero. At the end of the day, when the sun was setting, they all gathered around Ferdinand and sang songs to him. One of the villagers even wrote a poem. "A dragon came to our town today, a gentle soul with a heart so gay. No fire he breathed, no havoc he wreaked, but kindness showed and love heaped. We welcome thee, oh dragon Ferdy, to join our circle, our friend to be." Then the old woman stepped forward. "Ferdy, we'd like to give you this."
She handed him a golden collar with a red jewel in the center.
"It's a symbol of our love and appreciation for you."
Touched by their kindness, Ferdinand felt tears welling up in his eyes.
He couldn't remember the last time someone had ever been kind to him. He looked at the smiling faces around him and realized maybe being a kind dragon wasn't so bad after all. The next day, the entire village gathered together and celebrated Ferdinand with a grand feast. They gave him sweet fruits, juicy meats, and delicious breads. And of course, the highlight of the day was the award the old woman presented to him. It was a beautiful golden goblet inscribed with the words to Ferdinand, the kindest dragon in the land. As Ferdinand stood on the stone throne and looked out at the smiling faces below him, he couldn't help but feel a sense of pride. Maybe he wasn't the strongest or the fiercest dragon, but he was kind, and that, he realized, was just as important. From that day on, Ferdinand became the official protector of the village. Whenever anyone in the area needed help, they would call out to Ferdinand, and he would be there to save the day. He might not have been able to breathe fire, but he was strong and brave, and most of all, he was kind. And so the legend of Ferdinand, the kind dragon who couldn't breathe fire, was passed down from generation to generation.
A reminder that sometimes it is the smallest and weakest among us who are the bravest and kindest of all.